Lila loved to explore her grandmother's garden. One sunny afternoon, she noticed a path she had never seen before. Curious, she followed it. The path was lined with glowing flowers and singing insects. It seemed to lead her into a different world. Suddenly, she arrived at a grand archway covered in ivy. She stepped through it and was amazed at what she saw. Inside, the garden was alive in a way she had never imagined. Plants and insects were talking and moving around like people. Trees whispered stories to the wind, and the grass seemed to giggle under her feet. Lila felt like she was in a dream. She knew she had found something very special. As I wandered deeper into the garden, I heard a grumbling sound. Following the noise, I found a large rose bush. Its flowers were beautiful, but it wore a scowl on its face.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Lila, I replied gently. I'm just exploring. And you are?
I am Thorn, and I don't like visitors.
Why are you so grumpy?
Thorn just shrugged and turned away.
The more I watched, the more I saw how lonely Thorn was. Other flowers bloomed happily together, but Thorn stood alone. Lila felt a pang of sadness for the grumpy rosebush. She decided she would find out why Thorn was so unhappy. Over the next few days, Lila tried to talk to Thorn, bringing water and sunshine and even singing songs, but Thorn remained grumpy. One afternoon, I sat beside Thorn and started talking. You know, Thorn, it's okay to be sad sometimes, but it's not good to push others away.
It's not that simple, he replied. Long ago I used to be the happiest rosebush in the garden, but one day a storm came and broke many of my branches. The other plants stopped talking to me because I looked different. I felt so alone. It hurt.
I'm sorry that happened to you, but being mean won't make you feel better. Maybe if you let others in, they can help you heal.
Do you think so? He asked quietly.
Yes, everyone needs friends, and you deserve to be happy again.
Thorn smiled for the first time in a long while. It was a small smile, but it was a start.
Lila's kind words touched Thorn's heart. He realized that he had been pushing others away because he was scared of being hurt again. Lila's understanding made him feel hopeful. Lila's promise to Thorn was not empty. She spoke to the other plants and insects in the garden, telling them about Thorn's past and how he was hurt. Slowly, they began to understand. The garden decided to give Thorn another chance. The flowers started to visit Thorn, bringing him news and stories. The butterflies danced around him, and the bees buzzed cheerfully. Thorn began to feel less lonely. He started to bloom again, more beautifully than ever before. The garden was filled with joy and laughter. Thorn's change inspired the whole garden. They learned that everyone deserves a second chance. The garden's transformation was complete. It was now a place of harmony and friendship. S1. You did it yourself, Thorn. You opened your heart. S4. Thank you, Lila. You helped me find my happiness again. Before leaving the enchanted garden, Lila wanted to do something special. She found a beautiful flower, unlike any she had seen before. It glowed with a soft, warm light.
She decided to plant it in her grandmother's garden. It would be a symbol of her adventure and the friendships she had made.
Lila returned through the magical archway, holding the glowing flower carefully. She planted it in a sunny spot in her grandmother's garden. As she patted the soil around it, she felt a sense of accomplishment. The flower would remind her of the power of kindness and understanding.
Every day, Lila visited the flower. She told it stories about Thorn and the enchanted garden.
The flower grew strong and beautiful, just like the friendships she had nurtured. It became a symbol of hope and compassion for everyone who saw it. Lila's grandmother noticed the special flower and asked about it.
Layla shared her magical adventure, and her grandmother smiled.
You have a kind heart, Lila, her grandmother said. And you've brought a piece of magic into our garden. Lila knew that the lessons she learned would stay with her forever. The garden, both magical and real, flourished with the power of friendship.